Test, test, test. Let's see. Test. Okay, yeah. I think I can hear it. It's too noisy here. Too much noisy. All right. I think you guys can hear me properly, and I think I can hear myself. Let me just check real quick. Mm-mm. French cut दाढ़ी वाला. It's YouTube का link क्या था? To send it over to my, yeah. भाई बाहर तक का आवाज आ रहा था. All right. Fine. Mm, why can't I find my own URL here? What's going on with the crazy? Mm-mm-mm. Had to make a channel to listen to you. That's crazy. Uh, okay, got it. Got the live. So, all right. Let's just see the archives, and I'll tell you guys what are the questions we had for this specific Q&A. I think we had a lot of questions for this specific Q&A. I think way more than I could handle. So, let's see. Yeah. All right. Let's have a look. Bro, I should just like get on my treadmill and walk, and like I'll get more steps in. I got like 22,000 steps, but I think I can get more steps in. But I think let's just let it be. Okay. So we have the questions here. I have multiple questions, and we're gonna answer all of them. I think I have an hour, so I'm gonna answer all of the questions. Right. And I'm obviously gonna skip the ones which I already have like answered in my highlights as well. Right. And okay, let's go with the first question. Training for sports specific training or training for hypertrophy, how big difference does it make? Big difference, one very big difference. If you see, there are different kind of sports, right? So different kind of sports are using different kind of biomotor variables, right? Power is a different one, speed is different, right? Using like training speed, training for agility, training for like change of coordination, change of directions, it's very different. Again, and a lot of sports kind of require more cardiovascular health as well, so focusing on that is going to be more different. So ideally, if whenever we are trying to program things in such fashion, program for hypertrophy, program for strength training may look a little bit more similar, or like I'm just, like not strength training, I would say like powerlifting may look a little bit more similar because again it is very similar. But coming to like let's say like training for sport, training for a specific sport, now that's a whole different kind of concept which you are working with, right? So we are training for different kind of modalities as well, right? So right now, like when you're training for hypertrophy, you're training for strength. That's it, right? Not really for speed, not really for agility, right? Not You're not really training for all that, right? So yeah. Second question, how should you train? How should training change on versus off cycle? See, main differences. I think while ago even I had a thinking that training on gear would be a little bit more different than training off gear. My main consensus was that training on gear would mean that there would be like a lot more volume which you can handle, a lot more sets which you could do. But as I got into the data, I kind of understood that gear, this is gear, right? This is training. Okay, training is a different amount of stimulus, it's a different type of stimulus than gear. Okay, the gear is gonna give you growth, right? This is a whole itself, like you taking a like a pin, like a needle and pinning it in your ass. That is a stimulus for nay, nay, I'll keep it over here, I will be here as well. That will be a stimulus for muscle growth, right? Pinning your gear is gonna be a stimulus for muscle growth. Now what you have to do, agar you are going to be training in such fashion with gear as well, you have to keep your training the same, right? You have to keep your training in such fashion that you make sure that you don't lose the gains, right? You're risking your health, right? Make sure you stay strong at those given moments. You make sure you do things in such fashion that again you stay strong, right? Training on gear and training off gear should not be any different, right? A lot of people are going to tell you otherwise, a lot of Olympians are going to tell you otherwise, because again everything works for them, right? They're Olympians for a reason, everything kind of works for them, right? And again, high intensity training my injuries ke chances on gear, I don't think so. The thing is, yeah, there is going to be like tendon recovery, but a lot of people on gear are not just taking anabolics, they're also taking HGH, right? They're also taking BPC 157. They're also taking peptides, which are going to help them, get that tendons and then the ligaments and everything else stronger. So everything is kind of running at the same pace. Nowadays, you don't really see these pec tears. Nowadays, you don't really see these bicep tears for a particular reason, because now people are smart, that they know, okay, the tendons don't grow much. They don't grow faster compared to the muscles when you're on gear. What does that mean? Why is that like that? It's because muscle growth, the वहाँ का stimulus you get it from the gear, right? The tendons don't get the same stimulus. Tendons response from different stimulus. And what is that stimulus? AGH, BPC 157, TB 500, right? You can use a lot of these peptides and stay strong, right? If you see, like there are a lot of people, trained by JP. If you have a look at by JP and him train, he trains pretty heavy and he trains pretty hard. I'm one of the members in his forms, right? And one thing he does pretty well is the use of peptides, is the use of HGH. Very well. He uses copious amounts of HGH. That's all I would I would say. A very large amount of HGH done multiple times a day. All right. So let's have a look at the next question. Uh, okay. We don't have any long-term data for HGS yet, or like peptides so far, and that is one problem, right? Again, we will never have like a long-term data unless one thing which I can be for sure of is Manjaro. GLP-1s, they are gonna be one of the peptides which are gonna have like long-term, data as well, and they have long-term data now, so it's all good. Like I think 1 year का data आ गया हमारे पास अभी so far. So that is pretty good. That is pretty neat. Now again, do all of this at your own risk. Something which you always have to remember. Okay, can I trust the people you follow for fitness advice? I would say no, because I follow a lot of meme pages. I follow a lot of people just because they're funny and not because I like their fitness advice as well, right? So that is something which I would say. Okay. If someone were to get on PEDs, what would you recommend? Don't get on them. And I'll tell. I mean, you can get on. You can get on them, but again, that's your decision to make. Honestly, one thing I would say is know what you're doing, right? Before you hop on to gear, before you take anything, you put a needle up your ass. Know what you're doing, know what testosterone does, know what a lot of these compounds do to your body, right? You don't want to be left clueless, right? A lot of these things are very, very important for you, right? If you're going to be playing with your health, make sure you do it knowing that you're playing with your health and knowing what are the risks, knowing what you're going to have to go through, knowing that you have to take care of your blood pressure, knowing that you have to get a blood work done once a month, right? Knowing that you have to take a lot of different measures which no which people who are don't have to, right? Some of these measures people just don't know of, and even in like even in the Indian uh what is it called, like Indian fitness enhanced market, a lot of people are still not following the right protocol. A lot of people are just still not following the right protocol, and that is a problem. That is why you'll see people like just die off very quickly, right? Because again, they are not really following the right health safety protocols. I only see like very less people following these protocols for a reason, right? One second, hold on. All right, yes, I'm back. All right, yeah, okay. Coming to the next question. The next question. Arey yaar, why is my Instagram doing that? I need to. Okay. Raghu, what's your one-on-one coaching? Just needed an idea. Is it like 10 plus minutes or is it is it 10 plus or minus a month to say? I didn't get your question. Is it like, are you talking about 10,000? Uh, okay. Anyways, uh, is a degree in sports and exercise as a certification superior to know your know to superior I mean, is a degree, sometimes I feel like I'm dyslexic, because I'm not able to read stuff, is a degree in sports science degree is a degree in sports science degree क्या बोल रहा है ये बच्चे? or a certification superior to know the knowledge you find off of copious amounts of YouTube, right? Again, see, degree, again, if you want to make a career in this, if you want to become professional, go professional on this, maybe work in a different country, or maybe like get your masters or something like that. Again, like I would say a degree would be really helpful. If you're just trying to get in social media, I don't think there's a need, honestly, there's no need for you to go through that all that, right? 4 years into a degree and then a lot of studying, a lot of late night studying. You don't have to do that. One certification which you can do in 6 months, and then just brain rot yourself into biomechanics and like anatomy and like physiology. You're good to go, bro. Like I don't think you need to like think too much. All right. So coming to the next thing, let me just check. What's the next question? All right. So the next question is, yeah. All right. So all the way down. Is it bad that majority of my carbs come from fructose and not starchy glucose, food and vegetables? I mean, if majority of your carbs or carbohydrates are coming from fructose, again, fructose are not really, you know, gonna go into the muscles, right? So I would say what you can do is have have And have some good carbs, like have some good carbohydrate sources. There's so many good carbohydrate sources which you can have. Have a mix of it. I'm not saying don't have fruit. Fruits are good for you, right? But just make sure you also have, you know, this thing as well. Okay. When did you even ask for Q&A? I deleted Instagram. Now there's a Q&A. I asked it like I think yesterday, on like story, and I'm just replying to all that, right? Are there any alternative to hip thrust? I don't have that machine in the gym. Yes, there is an alternative to hip thrust, and what you have to do is kickbacks. Kickbacks are just hip extension, right? Hip extensions are very good, right? You know how much plates I have to load on the hip thrust, like on a Smith machine? Around like 12 plates, 12, 13, 14 plates, right? And honestly, it gets very tiring. It gets very tiring to you load, keep loading, keep loading 14, 15 plates. What do you have to do at that time? Take a cuff, put it on your leg, start kickbacking. It's good. You might feel weird, you might feel like the you're doing a girly exercise, but it builds glutes. New gym ki fees. New gym ki fees. All right. What is your take on rest, pause, reps? Not optimal, man. Not optimal at all. I'll tell you exactly why they are not optimal. Because see, at the end of the day, you have to like you're resting, right? You're resting for how many seconds? You're resting for seconds, merely seconds. That's not enough for your heart rate to come down, right? So you might not really reach the maximum recruitment when you get into that, right? So that's what I would say. It's not that optimal in terms of like set by set quality basis. But if you're short on time, you can get that thing done. But again, if you're still short on time, there are way more better things to do than just getting into like a rest pause minor. You know. So yeah, that's something I would say as well. A salted popcorn, good pre-workout meal. I'm not sure. I never had salted popcorn. I'm not sure if it goes well with your gut. It like sits well properly, go for it. But again, I would say like have something which is very quick digesting. I think I heard like popcorns do have high fiber amount as well. So I would say go keep it low carbs. Keep it like something like rice cakes. Keep it something like ocean water. Anything which is easily digestible goes into your bloodstream quickly. All good, all good, right? Okay. Does bulking really does bulking is bulking going to help me grow muscle? No, it's not. Bulking means like around 600, 700, or 800 calorie surplus. No, it's not. I would say stay within 100 to 200 calorie surplus. That's all you need. Right? At the end of the day, whenever we are trying to see how much amount of energy which can be utilized for muscle growth, as a natural, it's a very low amount, and the amount is so low that going on a 500 calorie surplus, 300 calorie surplus, 200 calorie surplus, like 200 is fine, 100 to 200 is also good, right? Going above 100 and 200, I'm going to question you, because again, at the end of the day, muscle growth is a stimulus process, stimulus which is provided in the gym, right? You go to the gym, you train hard, that's the stimulus which you'll get, right? Now, coming to the point of is bulking good for muscle growth or not, right? I'm not saying that you cannot go in a surplus. You can definitely go in a surplus, but it should be calculated, it should be accurate, it should be precise on what you're doing, right? Have a look at your physique every fucking week. Have a look at your physique, check if you're gaining extra fat or not, right? Khali fukat ka staying in a like for a no reason, for apparently no reason, you stay in a calorie surplus, which is getting you to gain fat, is not doing anything, right? It's just getting you to gain fat, right? Calorie surplus should be calculated, meticulously tracked. If you cannot do that, hire a coach. If you can, okay, maybe it will take some time, but I think you guys can definitely do that. Okay, next question is how to know the calorie deficit is working. You will lose weight. You will lose weight. You will lose weight. That is how you will see the calorie deficit is working, right? Blood restricted bands for hypertrophy, good or not? If you're immobilized and if you're weak and if you're an old person, yeah, go ahead. I would say that is something which is good for an old person. I heard rice is good post workout, or maybe I don't know. Yeah, I think rice is good. Rice is good. Rice is good pre post workout. I was like consuming like this thing, क्या बोलते हैं अपना chocos post workout. Uh, can you explain about the peptides you take? Peptides I take. Currently, I'm taking two peptides. One is GHK-Cu. It's a blue formula peptides, and another thing is thymosin alpha 1. That is for, if you guys don't know. Oh, it's gone. It's already gone. I had like a white vitiligo mark over here, and that is something which has helped me. Those two peptides which I've been taking for a long time, that has helped me reduce my this thing. Reduce my vitiligo a lot. So that's the two peptides I'm taking. I have ordered more peptides, by the way, guys. I'm gonna let you guys know about my new current peptides which I'm gonna be taking. Okay, one is KPV. Another thing is BPC 157. Another one is TB 500. And I think that was it. Yeah, I don't know. That was it. That was it. Yeah, that was it. And there's one more which I'm thinking, but not yet. Where do you order peptides from? China. I ordered from China. Everywhere, everyone gets peptides from China. I'm not risking my health. I know. See, at the end of the day, everything is a cause itching and irritation. No, it doesn't cause any itching and irritation. I'm not risking my health. These peptides help me stay intact of my health. Yeah, China, exactly. Uh, okay. Will Raghu ever hop on gear? I'm gonna be competing. What do you think is gonna happen? Okay. Now, okay, that my dad's name is being leaked over there. All right. Yeah. Take it at your own risk. Yeah, everything has a risk, right? If you overdose copper peptide, again, that's a risk which you took, right? If you got injections just from pinning wrongly, that's a risk which you took. Everything has a risk, right? You Everything, I'm just gonna say that everything has a risk. Yeah, coming to uh drop some about weekly volume. There is no such thing as weekly volume. Weekly volume is a useless metric. And I'll tell you exactly why a weekly volume is a useless metric. In a week, take it in 7 days a week, right? 7 days a week, take it. If I tell you I did 3 sets per muscle group, it could be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, one set done 3 times a week, or it could be one set on Monday. That is it. What does that tell you? Weekly volume is a useless metric without frequency. Frequency is something which you need to understand, right? So that is why I always, if you ever like see me like put volume recommendations out there, I will put session as well, right? As long as your frequency is high, 2 to 3 times a week, you're good, right? So that's what you have to always remember. Weekly volume is a useless metric. Take a look into your frequency, take a look into your intensity, take a look at your volume as well, session volume. Have a look at that. If you just focus on that, you will be good to go, right? Coming to what is a good recommendation landmark, anything. And if you're like, okay, let's say if you're doing 3 times frequency, I would say 1 to 3 sets, you're good to go. If you're doing 2 times frequency, 4 to 6 sets, good to go. If you're doing 1 times frequency, it's going to be a way higher number, 9 to 10, right, per muscle group, right? So that is something which I would say. You notice, did you see, like, I also mentioned frequency as well, because without frequency it's nothing, and I'll show you exactly why. Have a look at this. So this is a graph which this is a thing which I made. It's made for a particular reason, right? With these three things: frequency, volume, intensity. All of these things work together. Okay, let me just show it to you again. मेरे highlights में, this is in my highlights. Okay. right? And let me just open up the Q&A again. By the time, let me just see what all questions you guys are asking. Raghu, suggest me a 4 day split. I don't know. Are you gonna be transparent about your PED use in future? Yes. Is three upper, two lower good? I don't know. Drop your gym name, crossbox. Uh, how do you know this much carbs are the most optimal for me as a pre-workout? There is no such thing as an optimal number amount of carbs which is there, right? It's just an specific like अगर तुम्हारा डेली इंटेक है उसमें से थोड़ा इंटेक लो और दस डाल दो. There's not like कि amount of pre-workout carbs. I think bro, dude, are you not watching my videos? Not, I think last reel था मेरा वो about pre-workout carbs. Jesus Christ, come on guys, watch my videos, bro. Like at the end of the day, what matters is how much carbs you can consume throughout the fucking day. Not about कितना कितना खा रहे हो प्री वर्कआउट में उतना डोज रिस्पॉन्स रिलेशनशिप नहीं आएगा उतना तुम्हारे पास एसी चालू करने से यार, right? So it's not about the pre workout carbs, right? All right, let's see बाकी के questions. uh let me see what's the next question here. What's the next question क्या था? Got it. Live deal नहीं, live is gonna be on, don't worry. Also, yeah, what's his name? Ash. Yeah, I think it's see there is a range. I would say like 7K to 13K things go by. So again, if you wanna enroll, you can get yourself enrolled. About your mistakes. कौन से mistakes? Locked in नहीं है ये लोग. Yes. कौन से mistakes? I don't see any questions, bro. Okay. What made you cut for a whole year and mistakes to avoid? What made you cut for a whole year? Being fat made me cut for a whole year, bro. I don't know. I don't see. Let me check. I have all the questions here, so it might come in all the time, right? What is GHK-Cu? What is it for? It's for your skin. It's for your hair. It's for your, collagen synthesis, right? That's all it's for. So it makes your skin look a little bit more better. If you guys like go through my old videos and look at my skin now and look at that now, it's a very big difference. If you'll see, it's very optimal. How do I get my mom to buy me tread? I don't know. How to train? I don't know. Are you planning on taking Reta? The reason I'm not planning to take Reta is because of one specific thing, and that is because whenever I'm coaching clients, I don't want to lose the diet struggles which you get, the kind of diet struggles which you get on a regular basis, right? The struggles which you get, you'll forget about it if you're on Reta, right? So that is why if I want to train clients, not every client is gonna want to take Reta. Not every client is gonna want to take, GLP once. But every client wants to lose weight, right? So I don't want to lose the struggles. I don't want to lose what I've learned throughout my whole coaching journey just because I want to take Reta, right? Can you buy us an upper lower abs? Yep, there is a video of I've made on it. Go ahead and watch that. Why professional bodybuilders have less dietary fat in their diet? I see many professional diets. Yeah, I'll tell you exactly why. Because nothing is like everything is being like regularized by their exogenous testosterone use. I've had people go on 10 grams of fat, 5 grams of fat, and it doesn't do shit for them. And I'll tell you exactly why. Because when you're on a kind of fat loss phase and you're enhanced, you don't really make big difference in your hormones because what is regulating your hormones? Your exact exogenous use, right? So you can really drop down that fat intake amount to a really low amount, like concerningly low amount, where things just don't look the same anymore, and you will still have zero side effects. Not zero, I mean some side effects you'll have, but enough for you to go through with it without sacrificing your carbohydrate intake, right? Uh, is getting fixating over logbook and PRs a bad thing? No, it's not. In fact, I love going and being fixated about my logbook. I love being fixated about my PRs because it's a motivating thing for me. Anything, okay, you have to understand one thing. Motivation is a one of the key drivers for an increase in motor unit recruitment. If you're motivated, looking at your logbook, there is data on this. There is data on this, by the way. If you're motivated looking into your logbook, you're gonna feel a lot more better, right? Okay, I have this much reps to do, this much things to do. I'm gonna go ahead and beat this logbook. As long as the form is in check, as long as the techniques are being done properly, you're all good to go, right? Both of our noses are closed. I can't breathe. Skipping after 1 hour of workout session are bad for you? No, it's not. As long as you schedule it properly, it's not bad. Your take on Milo's vid? I haven't checked Milo's vid yet. I'll go ahead and make an Instagram reel on this. I don't know. I think you made a reel on this already. He's pretty fast on everything, but I'll go ahead and make a video on that as well. If I'm going to just gym regularly and not cutting or bulking anything or not that cardio, so what will happen? Nothing. You'll go gain muscle if you're doing your training properly, and cardio is not going to be good for you. So अभी cardio you're not doing properly, तो तुम्हारा cardio अच्छा नहीं होगा. तो again, mini cut, when to have refeed days or what? So I usually get my clients to do refeeds according to your mental health, especially on a mini cut, right? So if you guys don't know, I think I post everything which I feel on all social media. I think everything about my head as well. Um, so if you feel that you are very tired, you cannot move from one place to another, and it's just been a very long time since you've been in a deficit, doing a 1 day refeed can give you that boost as well, right? So that is one thing, right? So yeah, 1 or 2 day refeed. Depending, if you're too lean, I would say 2 day refeed is good. If you're not that lean, 1 day refeed is fine. You know, just a second. Ah, all right. Next question is, bro, what competition did you compete in? When is your next competition? I competed in ICN, and my next competition is, I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I am thinking it's gonna be like I'm thinking it's gonna be like somewhere. I think next year, next to next year. But I'm not really sure exactly when I'm thinking about competing. But it's probably next to next year, 2029, 2030 or something like that. All right. Let's see. Next question is: by training optimally, what percentage will you grow more than a pro guy? It depends. It depends. Again, it's very dependent upon your genetics, one thing, and another thing is gonna be genetics. So again, so let's say there is a bro trainer, okay? ये speed पे चल, let's say he's growing at this rate, right? ठीक है. Now there is a science based lifter, okay? ये जो rate पे चल रहा है देखो, ठीक है? And the science based lifter is just gonna be like ये pace पे, right? On a long term basis, it's gonna be a big difference. One second. There's someone at the door. Yeah, on a long term basis, it's going to be like you'll reach your goal or like your designated genetic goal a lot more faster than you would if you didn't do a science based lifting kind of approach, right? Do you exclude your rubbish protein sources when measuring them? See, I don't have that many rubbish energy like protein sources. Most of my protein comes from whey, chicken, and some veggies. Some veggies is fine, right? Having some veggies in your diet is totally good, totally fine, all good. But most of your diet shouldn't consist of veggies, okay? Right? Most of your diet shouldn't come from cauliflowers, okay? It should have like good quality protein sources. Make sure it's like 90 to 80%, 80% like fully like high quality protein sources, and like 20% like veggies and everything, kachra wagara, right? In a scale of 1 to 10, the walk pad has helped me the most. Has helped me the most, a lot more than usual. Okay. Is sleeping that important for hypertrophy and recovery? Can you dive deep into this topic? Right. So, see, whenever we are talking about sleep, we have two types of sleep, right? Chronic and acute, right? Acute sleep, sleeping less for one specific day, you're all good. Nothing's gonna happen. One thing which is gonna drop down is coordination, right? So if you're someone who plays a specific sport, or if you're someone who trains with unstable movements, you will see a regression in your training performance. Now, if you're someone like me who doesn't train with anything apart from machines, you're good to go. You will not see any issues in the gym, right? So yeah, do what you can with this information. So that is with performance. So in terms of hypertrophy, sleeping less on a chronic amount of time, especially on a deficit, will cause more muscle loss, especially of the type 2 muscle fibers, which is bad. If you're on a cut, sleep is important. Okay. And yeah, so sleep in general on a chronic basis, on a long term basis, is very important. On a short term basis, on 1 day basis, not that much. 1 day of sleep is not going to kill you, but if you're sleeping less every fucking day, that's a problem. If you're on gear, keep your sleep on all the time because you're on gear. Remember. Percentage deficit would you recommend for 22% to 12%? As fast as you can. I would say, deficit kaisa hona chahiye pata hai? I'll tell you exactly how you can keep your deficits usually. So it would be dependent upon, how much you can handle, right? Look at yourself, look in the mirror. Ask yourself, have I done a fat loss phase? If the answer is yes, and was it successful? If the answer is yes, ask yourself again, did I regain the weight back? If the answer is no, you may want to start with a slower deficit. If answer to all of this is yes, go higher, no, go faster. That's what she said. Uh, your take on Milo's video today. I haven't watched Milo's video, bro. I haven't watched Milo's video yet. Blind rank supplements without knowing what coming. I can't do that, bro. I can't rank supplements. Okay, but if I were to rank supplements, it would be creatine first, magnesium first, uh, what else is it? Caffeine first. I would say citrulline malate also goes up there. Beta alanine also goes up there. I think that's about it. Yeah. So that is about the supplements. I mean, I don't have a list yet, but at the same time, uh, it's not really a big list either way. अभी live stream कर रहा हूँ. Please suggest me some good intra-workout carbohydrate source. I'm glad you asked that, bro. I'm glad you asked that. You see this? You see this? This is your intra-workout carb source. Okay. Do you really require 1 to 2 rest days if you manage? Yes, you do require more rest days. And I would be a hypocrite, but I am a hypocrite right now telling you guys this because I'm currently training 6 days a week, right? So, yeah, don't do as I do as I say. Okay? Follow a protocol where you have rest days so that the fatigue dissipates. So the fatigue is not there in your system, which is eating up your motor unit recruitment. Motor unit से याद है, there is motor unit. That's the motor unit, bro. Right. So the fatigue is not like taking up your motor unit recruitment, right? So that you can go ahead and you know train properly. Okay. Coming to the next question, we have: should we be able to lift our weight on our own while starting the set, or is it okay to ask for a lift off? It's okay to ask for a lift off, man. Lift. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. A lift off is all good. Lift off is all good. Like, see, at the end of the day, what you have to also understand that whenever you are doing a press movement, right? The first step doesn't have a stretch shortening cycle, right? When it doesn't have a stretch shortening cycle, the first step is gonna be a lot more difficult and a lot more perception taking than the rest of the reps. It's best if you could reduce that by removing the first rep, and so yeah, you can get the stretch shortening cycle in the other reps as well, right? So I would say it's all good. Get a lift off. It's all good. Max fast loss race as fast as you can. It doesn't matter. Look, as long as your training performance is not getting impacted, you're good to go. If your training performance is being impacted, reduce the deficit. What does timing matter going to the gym? बताया तो था इसने थोड़े टाइम पहले. अभी भाई पीछे जाओ यार, GHK-Cu के बारे में पहले ही बता दूं. Like I think I'll after this live, I'll make sure I'll put timestamps on it as well. I'll try to make a timestamp. I'm not really able. I'm not sure if I will be able to, but I'll try to put a timestamp so you guys can like watch everything properly. Right. Next thing is just timing going to the gym matter? No, it doesn't. As long as unless you're fasted. If you're fasted, if you're fasted, I would say have like a pre-workout carbohydrate source or like intra-workout carbohydrate source both, so that you don't get that fatigue as well. Okay. Brother, I'm bulking up and I don't do cardio. Should I do cardio? Yes, do cardio, guys. Cardio is so much more good for your health. Come on. Cardio is so much more important, right? Cardio is so much more important. It's not just the health benefits which you get, it's also the benefits which you get from for your heart, right? And it's also the benefits which you get from the rest times, right? If you are training and you are taking less rest because your cardio is now a lot more better, good, right? Can you explain why Alpha GPC works? Is it worth it? I don't think it's worth it. Dealer, China. Uh, Daily running can cause muscle loss. Is it true? It's a myth. If you manage your fatigue properly, if you manage your split properly, and train according to your current this things, current I would say priorities. If your priority is running, there is a different kind of approach I would go for training. If your priority is strength training, I would go for a different kind of approach, right? So that is what I would say, right? If you are able to manage fatigue properly, you are not gonna see any muscle loss. In fact, you will see muscle gain, right? That's if you're able to manage fatigue properly running every day, right? I have a big issue of fatigue after 2 to 3 exercises of the session. I take enough carbs. Then your training programming is a problem. Okay. I would say have a look into your volume, have a look into your intensity, and have a look into your frequency. If all of these things are not really in check, then it could be that you're psychologically a weak bitch. That's all. Uh, Hey man, tell me about your warm up routine before your working set. Okay, so first thing I do is I walk on the treadmill. I would say walk on the treadmill, but I just prefer walking to the gym. And the climate in India is just look pretty hot all over. Okay, this guy is gonna like Ajay, please run. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the climate in India is pretty hectic. So you just walk your way to the gym and then you're warmed up either way, right? So once you reach the gym, now what you do? What is he saying? What are we talking about? Okay, yeah. So yeah, when you reach the gym, what you can do at that time is you can start your first warm up working set, like do the bar or something like that, or do the machine itself. Then load up 50% of the working weight, then 75% of the working weight, and then 95% of your working weight. One rep of each, bus. That's it. You're good to go, right, bro? Ruru, if you walk yourself to the gym, it is hot. Trust me. Like unless, like my gym is like 4 kilometers away, so it takes me like 20 minutes to just like reach home. It's correct. You guys should see motor unit. Hmm. Next question. What is the next question? Well, the next question we have is how much volume should a beginner do? I would start off low. Start off low. 1 to 2 sets per muscle group. Take those to failure. Learn how to train. Learn how to train to failure. Good to go. You know, learn as a beginner. Your focus shouldn't be कितना volume handle कर सकता हूँ. Your focus should be how do I learn how to train? How do I learn how to execute these particular exercises? How do I learn how to train with intent? How do I learn how to train with failure, right? These are the things which should be your main focus, not about intensity, not about volume, not about frequency. Learning how to train hard as a beginner is one of the best things which you can do, right? Because that is what determines if you need more volume or you don't need more volume. You can just do more volume and just not train hard, and then you'll get gains, right? There's a reason why there is a lot of research you'll see on 52 sets, 42 sets, 48 sets causing muscle growth, right? Because these people don't train hard. A lot of these researchers don't train hard. If you're someone who trains hard, volume comes down to a low amount. Okay. What's the next question? In deficit, how much should I? I think I already answered this. Couldn't complete carbs, bro. It's way too much harder than expected. Take some intra workout. Take some rice cakes, bro. It's all good. Chocos cow. Have something which is like fun for you to eat. That's why I like ocean water. I never get bored of it. Never get bored of it. Right. Uh, Let me just see the next question. Alternative if there is no hip abduction adduction machine. Cable hip abduction adductions. So you get on a cable stack, get yourself supported, hip abduction and adductions. Very good. Works well. I think I prescribe this to a lot of my clients who don't really have that machine in the gym. So you can use that as well. That's pretty good. Coming to, is there any difference between micro tears and actual muscle damage that aids stimulus? There is no muscle damage which causes stimulus. So that's about it. Second thing is, I mean, ah, fuck my ears, bro. Okay, perfect. All right. So next question is we have is upper lower rest. I don't know. I'm not, see, at the end of the day, one questions which I'm not replying to is the questions which you guys give me for splits. Okay. Because there is enough data which I've put out for you guys for you to watch things, man. Like I genuinely just want you guys to watch through my content so that I can look understand, like so that you can understand what is the science behind muscle growth, right? And what is much more better for you, right? I take pea protein and it tastes like shit. How should I eat it? Put it in ocean water and drink it. That's what I do. That's what I do with every protein sources which tastes like shit. Everything on ocean water and goes like this. Upper lower split in detail. No, I've already put a split out there. Use that as a reference. Is there a difference between stiff leg deadlifts and RDL for hams? Yeah. In terms of like movement, in terms of like movement arm data, we see that RDLs are going to be more adductor based, and stiff leg deadlifts are going to be more hamstring biased, right? Because of the amount of hip hinge which is happening, right? So I would rather just want you to go through a regular stiff leg deadlift than an RDL, because a stiff leg deadlift is also going to cover the RDL portion as well. So if you're doing a stiff leg deadlift, it's also training your adductors as well. So fuck the RDLs. Okay, skip the RDLs, do these stiff legs. Uh, okay. Next question: when is the time to take a break or loading phase from an aggressive cut? I think I already answered that by refeed question. Why using yoga? Why do you use yoga mat on a leg press? Okay, so this is a leg press machine. Okay, leg press. Yeah, this is a leg press machine. Think this is a seat, right? So when you add like a this thing over it, right? Your hips kind of sit up, right? So you are able to travel a lot more in terms of how much like flexion you get, right? So that is one good thing, right? Uh, if you're like if you have like issues with mobility, and sometimes machines are just made so dog shit that is just like you have to make adjustments. I never found any kind of like leg press in the gyms which have been not really wanting me to like add in some plates or something like that, right? Anyways, I haven't checked the gym in my new like I think my new gym ka leg press I haven't tried. After Panata ki Panata, let's go. uh, bro, I'm low key so excited for tomorrow. Like I'm so excited because bro, like the gym is so good. Yeah. Um was how do you reduce how the fatigue reduces coordination? See, fatigue reduces coordination because of the way your movement pattern goes by, right? So when you have fatigue in your muscles, I think I wrote it down somewhere as well, that there is an optimal path of a movement which it goes by, right? And when you have fatigue, the optimal path is not followed and a non-optimal path is followed, right? So that is why you get fatigue. That is why you get like a coordination change when you're fatigued, right? So that is one thing. Bro, I look so big in this. Like, yeah. Sorry, sorry, guys. In interruption. Best split. I don't know. Good washroom session after carbs. Yeah. Okay. Let's answer a few questions from here itself. Okay. Let's see. Um, if you're above 20% body fat while being an intermediate lifter, would you still gain muscle while being in a moderate deficit? You would, but you would. Yeah, you would. You would. You would. मैं क्या सोच भी कह रहा हूँ मैं. You would. Don't worry. You're good to go. Next question here is neutral grip presses for upper chest before pec deck or after. I would say again, it's your priority. If your priority is upper pec growth, put it first. If your priority is just whole pec growth, just put it second. Right. So I do it first because I like that pressing movement. So you know how to know which what stored fat or muscle, like fat or water. I mean, you'll know, bro. You'll know what's the difference. If you're fat, I mean, if you're like fat, you'll know it's fat. Like you just hold that skin, and it just doesn't feel like it's like water. It just feels fat. You gain weight as well, and the weight gain doesn't go back, right? So on a weekly basis, you'll see if the scale goes down, like water retention goes away, it's water. If it doesn't go away, it's fat. So can I alternate triceps set with some other muscle group to get more reps for the triceps next? No, I don't wouldn't suggest mixing muscle groups together in a single set. Just 4 day into a mini cut and already losing reps on some lift. Programming, fix it. Do lower volume. How did you change from an addict to a freak? When did the realization hit you? Okay, it's time. It's time. It's time. First, so what I did was when I consumed a specific substance which you put it on your tongue. Yeah. right? It makes you dream about certain things, look about certain things, and see certain things, right? Now, when you do that, it will it kind of goes in a two fashion kind of way, right? You kind of either go deep into the row like route, or you don't go deep into the route and you come out of it, right? So I had a visualization of me coming out of it, and that's what I did. गांजे का हलवा खा सकते क्या? Which will keep more muscle on an aggressive cut? Which will keep which will keep more muscle an aggressive cut for a short time, or a slow maintained cut for a long time? A slow maintained cut for a long time is going to be like, if you go by data, it's going to maintain more muscle, but at the same time the data which these guys use, they don't know how to program things as well. So I would say both works if you do it properly. Yeah, if the weight, okay, next question is, if weight is constant and the lifts are increasing, this means that I'm building muscle and reducing fat? Yes, not reducing fat. I'm not going to say anything about reducing fat. That's largely dependent upon your caloric intake. But building muscle, yeah, as long as the lift was not new and as long as the coordination and the neural adaptations are gone, yeah, that is going to be what's going to be causing an increase. Huh? Uh, okay. Eating under maintenance and gaining fat. You're not on maintenance, buddy. You're not on maintenance. You're not on maintenance. Oh god. What are these questions, bro? What mistakes did you make in your journey so that we don't do it as a beginner? Don't do too much volume. Don't focus on too much stress. Focus on training hard. Focus on building that foundation. I didn't focus on these things because I thought I knew everything. You know, I didn't. Right. So when I went back and started fixing my trace based foundations, I learned that I didn't knew the same things which I know now, right? So that's what I would say. You need to understand that a lot of these things have this base foundation which you need to create, right? So I would say let's focus on that. What's the next one? How much does daily intake matter down, or does it boil down to weekly intake? As if I think this guy's talking about calories, right? I mean, it always boils down to calorie, like weekly intake. I would say, because one day you can just eat less, another day you can just eat more, and then net out at like a same body weight kind of fashion, right? So let's say 4 days, 5 days of a 500 calorie, like 5 days of 500 calorie deficit, and then one day extra you just had like your calories, but 2,500 calories extra on top of it. Now you're netting back to the baseline, right? So that's one thing which you can think about as well. So it's about the consistency basis as well. And again, weekly is much more easily trackable. And if you're following like a high to low carb day approach, high days and low days, is definitely something which you should look into as well, like a weekly caloric intake, right? I think this is all very like well explained on my training group as well. Like I think I explained this very well on my training group. Mm. Um, any tips on training parents? Yeah, go slow, go low volume. Don't train them hard that quickly, right? Again, same base build foundation goes over to all of them, right? Right. So how? What's the next one? How much fat loss? Same thing. Same thing. Same questions. Is finasteride safe? Again, finasteride is safe for people who are experiencing male pattern baldness. I would say you can use finasteride. Again, I would also combine that with GHK-Cu. I would also combine that with RU58441. And again, yeah, I think that should be good enough. And again, microneedling as well. So if you're really, really wanting to go into that, like, I don't want to lose hair kind of fashion, minoxidil, finasteride, RU58441, uh, what was it again? Yeah, GHK-Cu, right? These things, you're good to go. You know. Next thing, next question. Skinny fat, should I cut or maintain? Wedding in 6 months. Cut down, bro. Last thing you wanna look is fat on your wedding, bro. Bro, अगर मेरी शादी हुई ना, wait, listen, guys, listen. If I get married, you bet that I'm single digit on that day. You bet I'm single digit on that day. Okay, like I'm gonna be in the wedding photos looking at fully mogging, bro. Fully fucking skull, like fully in, and I'm gonna be mogging that shit, bro. Cause by exactly, bro. Imagine like you take your shirt off and it's just like insane amount of ab veins and everything. Your kids are gonna look at those photos and be like, holy shit, my dad was just like crazy looking, you know. Uh, is 100 grams of protein enough for a 136 kg guy trying to lose fat? I would use height as a metric or lean body mass, right? So I would say what you can do is take your height, multiply that by 1 point, like not 1 point, 0.7. That should be good enough. Um, what should absolute beginners बता दिया मैंने. Uh, about mini cut, should we be on maintenance? Yeah, ideally, you should go back on maintenance. You know, I don't understand the technical terms used by you, RIR, and many others. Make series on them. I think you should watch my highlights. There is more details about RIR, what is RIR, and everything on that. Okay, this question is very funny. Can you possibly grow your clavicles without surgery? Okay, it depends. Okay, now if you're young, if you're young, your growth plates are open. Growth plates of these clavicles are also open. You get an X-ray of these guys. Get an X-ray of clavicles. Get an X-ray of your long bones. Get an X-ray of your femur. Get an X-ray of all of your long bones, and go to ask a doctor, are my growth plates open? And if the doctor says yes, you know what you're doing next. HGH. Okay, HGH. But again, see, at the end of the day, what's gonna happen is, um, even if you take HGH, what's gonna happen is that you are still gonna be at your genetic limit, right? There is a genetic limit which you have. You might reach there, or you might maximize reaching there. That's about it. Why is my man tera kyun? Yeah. So that's about it. That's only thing which is gonna happen. Okay. Can you build muscle while staying in a deficit? Yes, you can, bro. Yes, you can. Is my current split upper lower 6 days a week? Yes, that is it currently. What do you think about dead stops? Dead stops are fine if you're using it for like standardization. You know, for even if you see me like doing a close grip hoist press, you see one specific thing, and that is that, you know, I make sure that, you know, हर rep में मैं नीचे bounce off नहीं करता हूँ, क्योंकि if you have a look at that specific hoist machine, it's a bouncy ass machine. Okay, so main issue with that specific machine is that in the bottom you might just get more bounce out of it. So if you just don't let the bounce go away and wait out, you might just get like extra 10 reps on that. And I've tried that, like the same weight which I do, and if I just let that thing bounce, that's what she it just kind of, you know, I get more reps, and I want to make sure that the reps are like done by me and not by the bounciness, you know. So I just dead stop it. Again, that's if you want to standardize that as well. Again, it's not necessary, it's not important, it's not going to do anything for me, it's not going to be bad for you as well. Okay. um what's the next question? What do you think about taking GHK-Cu or IGF-1 for injuries like dislocation due to torn labrum? If it's dislocated, I would torn labrum, so I think there could be some use of it. But when we come down to like, dislocation, I don't think it's gonna help you relocate that shit, bro. Like that is done by doctors, bro. Again, I would say do your own research. GHK-Cu is pretty good for injuries, and again, if you combine that by like TB 500 GH and like TB 500, BPC 157, and KPV, you're good to go, bro. Honestly, if you do a little bit more research on these, I think you can definitely use that for your torn labrum. Again, it's not gonna be built back again, but if you do it like a reconstruction surgery, the reconstruction process and recovering process is going to be a lot more faster for you as well. Yeah. I'm in a calorie deficit. I lost fat in my arms, chest, and can't belly. Then diet harder. If there is a specific body place where you're not being able to lose fat, that's just you just are not in the diet for a longer period of time. You can diet harder. You can diet longer. Okay. The longer you stay on a diet, the fat you lose fat from all the given areas where you want to lose fat from. Does it whether it be whether it be your face, whether it be your arms, whether it be your lower belly, whether it be your thighs, whether it be your underarms, wherever you want call it. Just stay on a deficit for a long period of time. That's what matters. It doesn't matter where if you are not, as long as you are not satisfied with how you look, stay in that deficit. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, frequency questions I've answered. About refeed days I've answered. I think everything else has been answered, right? Yeah, I think everything else has been answered. Carbs, carbs, carbs. It's all about carbs. Creatine HCl. Crazy. Important micronutrients. I think I made a video on that as well. Guys, have a look into my videos, man. Okay, I think everything is covered up. My favorite cheat meal. What is my favorite cheat meal? My favorite cheat meal is KFC. K- Definitely KFC. 100% KFC. TRT or PCT? I would say TRT always. Like, okay. So if you're gonna be going hopping on gear, always know one thing, that if you're hopping on gear, the gains which you'll make on gear, you have to stay on gear, right? So let's say this is your testosterone levels on like a TRT level dose, okay, and it goes up. Okay, it's here. You are blasting right now, right? Ideally, you want to go for like a blast and cruise kind of fashion rather than making sure that you go on a PCT. A PCT is not that optimal if you want to like make the best out of your gains. Hmm. What's the best PED with the least amount of side effects? Ah, none, zero. There's zero piece PEDs which is has the least amount of side effects. Doesn't have anything which you can look into. That's why I tell you guys, do your own research before you pin your stuff. Do your own research. Okay. When how to start tracking calories if one has never done so? Install MyFitnessPal, get a weighing scale, start tracking, start logging everything, and you kind of get where you kind of understand what you need to do, right? Like just keep practicing it. Just keep practicing it. Okay, I think these are the questions which are covered, and everything else is either like a dumb question or like a repeated question. And yeah, tell me, guys. Okay, apart from these, I'm all for the chat right now. Tell me, guys, what are the questions which you guys have? Hmm. अग्रेसिव कीटो मिनी कट ओनली फाइबर का चूतिया है क्या तू भाई मतलब तेरे मतलब तू तू मेरे वीडियोस नहीं देखता है क्या carbs are so important that I'm drinking it right now, bro. I am saying as well. मैं भी chronometer ही use करता हूँ. Never go on an aggressive cut without carbs. Carbs are important. Okay. What was your question, bro? Mayank, what was your question? Any good upper chest movement. You can do an incline dumbbell press, incline Smith press, as long as the upper arm goes like this. Okay. As long as you flex the shoulder, that's what matters. Okay. I'm underweight. How many calories can I surplus? I don't know. Put yourself in a 200, 300 calories. Go and see how things go by. If things go are going well, stay in that. Uh, bro, I am trying to cut, but even after reducing calories, I am not reducing fat. My abs are not getting visible. Cut longer. Cut longer. The more and the longer you stay on that deficit, the better fat loss you'll get, the better results you'll stay. Right? Uh, okay. What was it again? I do two leg days a week. One I'm doing hack squat plus RDL. Another leg day RDL plus single leg extension. Both said, do I need the hack squat in both days? Okay. I want you to understand this by one specific thing. Okay. Uh, the hypertrophy or stimulus for mechanical tension is fiber specific. Okay. Which means that, let's say this is a fiber. Okay. And this is also another fiber. Okay. Now, this fiber, which is there in the hack squat, okay, got stimulated when you did the hack squat. Okay. This fiber, which you like stimulated with leg extension, got stimulated with leg extension. Okay. Now you are essentially training. I'm not kidding. Even though you have two times frequency, some of the muscle fibers which you're training are being trained in a. You're training in a bro split right now, right? So I would say exercise frequency is the most important. If you need to keep the same exercises, never have two leg days, only have one leg day and repeat that shit over and over and over again. Okay? Is stiff leg deadlift necessary if you want to grow hams optimally? Yes. Yep, it is necessary. It is necessary. If you want to maximize hypertrophy, you need a stiff leg deadlift, you need a seated leg curl, you need a lying leg curl. How long does it take to build a decent physique? This depends on your genetics. Very well depends on your genetics. Nothing else. You can train as much as you can, but if your genetics doesn't have it written that bhai tu banega bodybuilder, I mean, try as much as you can. How to maintain and build muscle on a 1000 calorie deficit? Program better. Have a good training program. Have a good training program. Good training program kind of helps you do that, and like prioritize carbs. How do I fix tricep muscle imbalance? Train your tricep first. The left arm should be trained first, ideally. Okay. Lying leg curls feels really damn uncomfortable. I know. That's why I do them like single leg. So it's a little bit much better. What were your highest calories? I think I was at like around 2900 calories, 2800 calories a while ago. Like when I was on like a growth phase, I was on like 2800, 2900 calories. But again, you have to understand that my step intake is insanely high. I am like 5'4", 5'6", 5'6", 5'7", 5'8". I'm not really sure exactly. 172 centimeters, right? And for that guy to have a maintenance and a 200 calorie surplus of 2800, it requires a huge amount of activity, right? Anshuman, man, I would say go for a big, like, stay in the deficit, bro. Stay in the deficit. Bicep flex. Uh, I'm not flexing myself right now, but yeah, I would say stay in that deficit. Continue in that deficit. Stay there as long as it's possible. Adjust accordingly. Okay, what did Mayank say? Let me check. Mm-mm-mm. I don't see it, bro. Flexible dieting in growth phase. Why? No, no. I don't like flexible dieting, not because it's bad, it's good. For a lot of people, it's good. Like, I have a client who's a pilot right now, okay? He travels to a different place every single day because of his job. Can he follow a structured meal routine? Yes, but was it sustainable? No. How is what's much more better? Following a structured meal pattern routine, right? So flexible dieting at that time is much more better, right? Flexible dieting on a growth phase, if you're a bodybuilder or if you're someone who's like trying to maximize things, no, bilkul nahi. And I'll tell you exactly why. Because you guys, a lot of guys who do these flexible dieting kind of approach, tend to get too flexible with it. Fucking Oreos for breakfast because it fits my calories. Fucking chocos for dinner because it fits my calories. Chicken biryani for lunch because it fits my calories. Know that, okay? If you want to look good, you gotta keep your internal organs better as well. Okay? So internal organ health is also important. With flexible dieting, if you everything is flexible, your health is not gonna be good on a good kind of condition, right? Most optimal way to train forearms. Flex this, extend this, and do a curl. I mean, chocos isn't that bad if you have it like for your carb source, but having this for every fucking meal is just like, I'm just like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Does goatee increase motor unit recruitment? I haven't yet experienced any motor unit recruitment. I mean, I did go to the gym today, but yeah, it was fine. I'll tell you guys exactly what happened in the gym today. So there is this one specific reason why I left the gym, and I didn't really want to post a story about this, and I didn't really want to like create a big fuss out of it as well. But the main thing was, okay, if you guys don't know this, yes, I've been having complaints done like on me. So there are a lot of people, not a lot of people, just 1 to 2 people who don't like me recording in the gym. Okay. Problem was that I know exactly 1 to 2 people as well, because see, I'm very social in the gym. I'm a very social person. I'm very social in the gym, so everyone knows me, everyone's chill with me, everyone talks to me except few people, you know and you guys won't believe me, they follow me. So this guy, I was recording in the gym not a while ago. I was talking to one of my friends, and she was talking to me, and this guy comes up and then he bumps me over. Okay, he bumps me over. मेरे को लगा गलती से किया होगा. Okay, I was like fine, I didn't really do anything at that time. Okay, so अगले दिन I was like recording, and then the reception wali aati hai, and she told me, sir, there was just a complaint which was just lodged on you that you are making others of recording by recording, like keeping them in the frame. मैंने कहा okay, fine, I'll make sure that no one comes in the frame, don't worry. And then not a while ago, फिर उसके बाद अचानक से when I was recording in the gym, this one guy comes up to me and he's like, bro, can you check the footage and see if I'm in the footage or not? And I was like, okay, fine, let me just check that. Okay, हाँ, मैंने चेक किया, मैंने फुटेज में चेक किया, वो बंदा था भी नहीं फुटेज में. He was not in the footage. And then later on what happened was like, he was like, okay, kind, koi baat nahi. And whenever, same dude who bumped me over, by the way, same dude who bumped me over. And then whenever he would like do like he also does the hoist incline presses as well, right? And whenever I would ask him how many sets does he have left, he would reply to me in a very rude fashion, very rude fashion, right? I don't know why. Like, so I was like, fine, okay. And today was like the day where I was like, okay, this is too much. Like, so I was recording one of my clips. I'll show you guys the clip as well, Right. If you see the specific clip, you'll see what I'm talking about. Exactly what happened. So I was recording myself for working out, okay? And this guy comes up to, like, I was recording a set for my client, right, to show him how to do a tricep push down, okay? Now he comes up to me, you'll see this, yeah, you'll see this. Like, I'm recording here, okay? थोड़ा आगे कर देता हूँ. And you'll see him come to यहाँ पे, you'll see him like come to the camera, then turn the recording off. You see that? Come to the camera and turn the recording off, right? And then he removed my phone as well, and I was like, bro, don't touch my phone, bro. Like, don't touch my phone. That's like, no, right? So I was like, so I was like, fuck it, bro. Let's just change the gym. And it's all good, you know. I mean, I changed the gym, and now we are good to go because he cannot afford this gym. So that's what happened, you know. So how many weekly sets should I do in a push pull legs weekly? Go back to the live and watch it, bro. Because see, at the end of the day, you have to understand that I am not a person who fights with people, like physical fights, right? I am not gonna do a physical fight with someone. I rather just be by myself, you know. I hate physical fights, and if I get into one, I don't like getting into one in the first place. So that's one thing. Uh, Doing gym for 3 years, started at 90 kgs, now at 69 kgs. Never did a buck lost. Did I lose? No. There's no such thing as beginner gains. There's no such thing as beginner gains. It's about motor unit recruitment. That's a good video idea, actually. It's a good video idea which you just gave me, and I'll use that to my advantage. I'll make a video on that today or tomorrow. I'll see. Bro, research वाला बताया पहले. Yeah, I'm not sure what questions you're asking. Do you want to learn how to research? There's a highlight called guide. You go into that and you look into the how to get into research. Yeah, highlight called guide. वहाँ पे आपको मिल जाएगा सब. Right. I have a decent body, face. I have a decent knowledge. I have 2,000 followers. Gym plus tech content work. आपका अकाउंट है भाई. पोस्ट करो जो पोस्ट करना है. मुझे क्या पूछ रहे हो? I am just a science-based guy who uh, reads data, right? So make your videos according to, like, right. Anyways, I think we're done with the questions. We are at 1 hour 22 minutes of live. Okay, I think I'm gonna go head out because I have one client check-in to do in half an hour and I haven't eaten anything. Okay, I hope you guys watch the whole reel. I'm gonna whole video, sorry, not reel. Okay, and I'm gonna save this live. I'll public it so you guys can watch it. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys. Bye bye.